Greetings summoners, my name is Terry and today I'll be breaking down some OP picks from the competitive scene. These picks simply dominate the current meta at the highest level of play and are sure to debut at Icons. So if you're interested in watching the equivalent to League of Legends Worlds, stay tuned. Before I get too far in, I want to thank Rift Guides and Kranix for helping me make this video. Now let's dive right in with the analysis. Keep in mind these picks aren't broken when played in solo queue, but rather shine spectacularly when utilized under coordinated team compositions. Let's split it up by roles, starting with the Baron lane. The strongest, most powerful, undisputed pick for the Baron lane in competitive play is Riven. Riven's early game dominance starts the game with a bang. At level 1, no champion in the game can keep up with her, and once Riven takes control of the laning phase, she easily bleeds her lead into teamfights. The skill expression is incredibly high, with multiple dashes and crowd control in her kit to help her navigate the most versatile situation. It also helps that she synergizes with Hullbreaker, an item that single-handedly shifted the competitive meta. I'll talk more about this very soon, but with Hullbreaker, Divine Sunderer, and Black Cleaver, the champion's defensive stats and offensive capabilities are unmatched. Here are some other picks commonly seen in the Baron lane. Graves, Shen, Darius, Renekton. These all excel at split pushing, especially Shen with his game-breaking teleporting ultimate. Don't sleep on the Shen pick. Common theme you guys will notice here is that a lot of AD bruisers are being played. My breakdown for the mid lane will draw more analysis on this. The mid lane is conventionally where AP mages and carries are played, but in competitive play, even in the mid lane, bruisers alongside assassins are dominating the meta. This is largely in part to one very broken item in the competitive environment, Hullbreaker. In solo queue, the item doesn't see that much use. A lot of players typically opt for Trinity Force or other offensive itemizations that provide more utility for teamfights. But competitive play is a completely different story. Hullbreaker allows bruisers to create constant split push pressure. Champions that take the item have enough push priority to beat out mages, who will find themselves easily overrun by the tankier matchups. But mages have great wave clear as well, so why are they pushed out of relevance in competitive play? Well, the key is the objective spawns. Once Rift Herald or Dragon spawn, mid laners typically rotate to side lanes, and mages can't realistically solo side lanes as they're incredibly vulnerable to dive compositions. That's why, even in the mid lane, you'll see a champion like Riven seeing play. If it's not Riven, then Jayce. The hammer wielder is an incredible power pick with amazing skill expression. In other words, those who know how to use it make great use of it, bursting down waves and enemies alike. All it takes is a little snowball from the early game. Similar to Riven, Jayce's early game utility allows him to absolutely bully his lane opponents starting from level 1. If the player knows how to maximize his advantage thereafter, Jayce becomes an uncontrollable nuisance. The poke damage a well-positioned Jayce user places before a big objective fight easily makes or breaks the game. Anyway, all mid laners need to be able to hold their own when it comes to soloing side lanes. It's arguably the most essential trait when it comes to competitive OP mid lane picks. Other picks seen frequently in the mid lane are Aurelia, Singed, or even Morgana. I'll talk a lot more about Morgana at a future point. For those interested in more of the mid lane meta, check out Rift Guide's take on the meta in this video linked here. Now, let's talk about the dual lane. This is where things get really spicy. Previously, mages like Ziggs and Morgana saw a lot of play, and they still do, since the rest of the team composition typically already has a lot of heavy AD. Therefore, objective controlling AP carries like Ziggs and Morgana help clear waves even more and add extra pressure onto the map from a safe distance. I'll take more time to talk about Morgana later, as I mentioned before, since that's a really important pick to discuss when covering competitive play. Varus also saw a lot of play in the competitive scene, since the champion plays from a very safe distance, similar to Ziggs and Morgana. But ever since the latest patch with the inclusion of lethal tempo, ADCs such as Vayne, Kai'Sa, and Ashe have begun seeing much more play as well. The most notable dual lane pick that plays as a typical marksman has to be Lucian, who has become an insane power pick. Typically taking Conqueror, the champion's burst damage potential and mobility allow the marksman to perform phenomenally when wielded by a skilled player. His kit synergizes wonderfully with the revamped Stormrazor, and with all the buffs he's received, Lucian is an incredible place in the meta. The champion's burst damage alongside consistent stream of DPS, making a force to be reckoned with, both in solo queue and competitive play. For those who don't understand, in the current meta, conventional hyper range AD carries finally have a chance to shine in the limelight, and personally speaking, I think that's amazing. For so long, mages in the dual lane were just a better option in competitive play, since mages don't necessarily show the same groundbreaking mechanical prowess as auto attack reliant marks. It's a very healthy meta change to make games more entertaining to view. Other viable comps are Senna plus bruising engages such as Gragas/Set. Now, time to discuss Morgana in the jungle. That champion can also be played in mid, ADC, and jungle, and is one of the most broken picks for competitive play. A properly optimized Morgana jungle clear is absolutely broken. Check out Rift Guide's video on more details on this, but the jungle speed clears are insane. Combo Morgana's wave clear alongside utility that she brings to teamfights, and the Morgana pick is practically unmatched. When using her in the duo lane role with Leona, Morgana's second ability easily procs Leona's passive. In layman's terms, Leona's passive allows any damaging attack to deal extra damage after Leona applies her own spell on the target. And since Morgana's pool deals a stream of damage, it easily procs multiple stacks of Leona's passive, making for some insane damage, especially since Morgana's pool deals damage on missing health. Now, when comboing with other champions, Morgana creates a ton of other opportunities to quite frankly break the game. And the fact that she's viable in jungle, mid, and ADC makes her an incredibly versatile pick. Other picks that see play are assassins or bruisers, such as Irelia, Jax, Olaf, Kha'Zix, and Lucian. These shouldn't come as much of a surprise, since they're just really strong junglers in general. Support is one of the less different from solo queue roles. In other words, champions like Rakan, Yuumi, and Karma are fantastic in competitive play. These picks simply vary to cater to the rest of the team composition, providing whatever extra utility the team needs to succeed. For example, Karma provides speed boost and shielding while creating extra hindrances on enemies so her allies can run in fast. This makes her a wonderful pick when her team has frontline capabilities who love to jump right on in. Meanwhile, champions like Rakan and Leona may work better for teams who want extra frontline engage. In conclusion, hopefully this video helps players understand the competitive meta a bit more. Keep in mind there are sure to be tons more picks that do show up, displaying brand new playstyles that were not even mentioned in the video. So make sure to watch Wild Rift Icons and see for yourselves what the competitive meta ends up being defined as. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Also, thank you Rift Guides for helping me set up video assets and draft this video.